those of you that have been here before, my name is Buhle. Previously, you would have seen that I usually join the live with Mjabu, but this morning, I'm joined in by a different gentleman, our portfolio manager, Mjabu. Come over here, come over here, come over here. Let the people see you. Mjabu,
morning, good people. I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting to see me. Here we come.
Mjabu is quite popular on our social media. But Mjabu Zwane is a colleague of mine. He is a portfolio manager for uMaStandi. We call him here at the office either JB or Mjabu. So JB, please briefly introduce yourself to our viewers this morning.
Thank you, Buhle. Yes, as she mentioned, Igama Mjabu for Mangate. I'm very excited to be given this opportunity today to come and share this great opportunity for property entrepreneurs in the township. Usually I don't get often at times to get this opportunity to share this in this kind of platform. I usually get walks in, people coming into our office to show that they are very serious about taking their projects on the next level, because we open from Monday to Friday. And we always welcome people who come and see us face to face, because some people they don't believe that things are really happening at uMaStandi. But to cut the story long or short, the company has been obviously operating, for the past 5 years now, since also me joining the company in 2016. And we've done some amazing, I've seen a lot of people, entrepreneurs from the township coming to us and obviously getting projects over the line.
Perfect.
So
thanks for
there's been some lot of episodes that have been happening, just like how you watch movies. There's been a lot of things happening and a lot of talk about uMaStandi. And people still don't believe it. Some of them are still skeptical. Some of them, they don't start. Some of them are taking long, Some of them are just like me, doing it for the first time.
Okay.
But if you're doing something for the first time, at the end of this session, my goal is to make sure that some of you guys, if you've never signed an offer to purchase or an OTP, you need to make sure that you also just get an opportunity to sign one.
Thank you for
Whether
that
be a vacant land.
Well, thank you for that introduction, JB. Let me just welcome our people quickly, just to acknowledge them. We've got Enrique van Staden. Welcome, Enrique. Just pop us a message on the comments box and tell us where you guys are joining from this morning. Are you in Durban? Are you in Johannesburg? Are you in Pretoria? Are you in Soweto? Where are we? Are we warm? Is it cold where you are? Is it windy? As you can see, we're wearing jackets.
Yeah, it's very cold here.
We are in Braamfontein, and it is freezing over here. Welcome, Lunga Dlamini. Good morning, Thandeka Bathandwa Mavundla. Good morning, Pilani Mthembu. I see there's about 13 people that have joined in so far. Guys, feel comfortable.
That's very good.
Feel comfortable. Drop us a comment in the comment section. Say good morning. Tell us where you're joining from. What are you looking forward to today? And
I see somebody from Pretoria, Mamelodi.
Enrique van Staden, Pretoria. Lovely to have you. And as always, for those of you that might be familiar with how the show goes, how it basically works is we'll obviously give you a brief introduction to uMaStandi, how we work, our criteria, and so forth. And you guys have an opportunity to ask us a few questions, okay? So there's no question that's silly. There's no question that's ridiculous. Whatever it is that you have on your mind, pop it in the comment box. Share your thoughts, share your views, whatever it is. And during the conversation, if you feel like there's something that pops up into your mind and you want to address it, feel free. Comment section is all yours. We will do our best to address it within the allocated time. All right. It's 8 minutes after 10, and I think we will kickstart today's live. Before we do, a quick introduction. Township Talks, and the purpose is to basically familiarize our South African community with the uMaStandi product. And uMaStandi is a financial services company that provides commercial mortgage loans to entrepreneurs in townships, South African townships. All right. So our first question for this morning, JB, is...
Ready.
Ready.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
I think I'm ready. I believe so.
Okay. So what are the products offered by uMaStandi? tell our people?
I think that's a very good question that she's asking me, because a lot of people often at times, they don't know what we do. And they always compare us and ask what's the difference between us and the traditional banks like your likes of Home Loan and ABSA and so forth. So to us, we offer a lot of, we've got a package deal for you. We offer 5 different kind of products that we've got. It's like when you come to uMaStandi, it's like you're going to Pick and Pay. We don't tell you what to do.
Okay.
You just go there, you look around, and you decide as an entrepreneur, this is what I want, and this is how I want it, and this is how I want it to be done.
Okay.
That's how uMaStandi actually operate, right?
Okay.
So coming back to the subject, coming back to the property, I mean, we offer a purchase only. A purchase only speaks to somebody who's looking for a well-developed product already that's fully completed. But number one, what's important is that while you shopping around with these properties in the township,
Yes.
you also need to be aware of the pricing of these properties and also align yourself at what stage you are. Don't go and look for something that's very much so expensive and that you can't handle it, and also you can't have to actually afford, because the company don't finance up to 100%. You need to think about the 20% gap. So if you align your shopping around that mark, you should be able to be targeting projects that will be obviously be easier for you to execute. But a purchase only, the very important thing that you have to note is that the building needs to have approved building plans.
Approved
right?
building plans.
That's the first one for me to consider it in any way, in any township, in any location.
Okay.
Approved building plans, compliance, utmost important. You need to understand that part. Also, the number of units, very critical, because this is a purchase only that you are buying. You can't just go and buy the, what you call it, a 2-bedroom, for example. You're only going to get 4.5 rent. That doesn't make sense for me. You need to be somebody who say, no, I've seen a very 12 units, bachelor units, there's no sharing, good en suite, the condition is well maintained, the building is fully occupied. I'm just going to, just manage the property. That's why I like that property, And I've got the equity. That's a purchase only.
Okay.
So an entrepreneur can choose to do that. Second product, I'm excited about this one, because if you've never done anything and you've never signed an OTP, well, you've got to do it.
Okay.
Purchase Plus. So now, we can help you from you signing an OTP to a vacant land. You target a vacant land, right? And then now you obviously with an intention to develop. It's not interesting for us that you've signed the OTP, you're going to purchase a land or you're going to purchase a property. We're interested in the future development, right?
Okay.
Very important. So you must buy a property with an intention to what? To
develop it.
Right. So now let me give you an example. You can either purchase a vacant land, but what you need to consider, understand the land use right, the zoning of that stand, what you can actually build on that property. Same applies. Whether you've purchased a property, you must purchase it with an intention that you either gonna add a unit at the back or demolish, destroy the existing structure and actually start from completely scratch. Right? That's a purchase plus.
Okay.
So we allocate the funding for the purchasing of the property and also consider the construction part of things, and then also your equity. We put it all together for you, and we tell you what works and what doesn't work. Okay. That's the second one, and the third one we've got what you call construction. Construction speaks to the new build, greenfield. You've got like a very beautiful stand. And it's got business right, or maybe it's residential 3 if you're in the city of Johannesburg, and maybe you're in Tshwane, maybe it's residential 4 or 5. I mean, depends. And you've brought in your architect, you've told them what you want, because we can't tell you what to do. You've told them, no, that this market doesn't have actually 2-bedroom units. So I'm planning to add maybe 10-bedroom units, and then maybe 5 of them must be 1 bed, and then maybe the rest of them could be bachelor units. You can decide. Obviously, you are driven by the space that your stand has got, and also by what can be approved by the city. The consultation, very important, ladies and gentlemen. Don't listen to your architect. Sometimes go with them to the city and find out for yourself. Just open up your ears there. Right.
Okay.
Then now, that's what? Construction. Now, getting into the fourth one now, we talk of conversion. So when you walk around or shop around the township, you always see these retail stores and you see these shops that are like vacant, or these offices that are often vacant. Just think about it. think about the rights of that particular, what you call it, retail block of flat that's got vacancy, but then it's well located. Nobody's thinking about residential. So a conversion, you come to us and say, guys, I want to convert this thing into residential. I want to do 18 bachelor units here. I put parking here, and maybe I put a restaurant at the bottom. And mixed use, we also do a mixed use, guys.
Mixed use.
It's not just only about residential.
Yes, of
Entrepreneur can put KFC in their property. We can fund the whole thing, right?
Course, yes.
As long as it's in one particular stand, we can do that. You can have ShopRite, and you can still have back. You have your units and your business running. We can still do that. So don't run away, guys. The last one, guys, is my favorite one. Equity release. Equity release. This is money, guys. Equity means money.
Tell our people
Equity.
what equity
So
release
there are
is.
some people that are sitting with equity, and there are people that are sitting with debt equity, right? Understand this thing very carefully, guys. There are people that are sitting with debt equity, and there are people that are sitting with real equity. Real equity means you've built your project cash, and probably it's 10 units, and it's fully compliant. It's got approved plan. It's got everything you can, full compliance in place. Let me put it that way to cut the story short. So there we can look at the rentals, and we can release funds for you. You can go to a holiday with your wife or whatever, your family, or you can decide to invest it in another project, right? To purchase another vacant land, and we can still support you with funding the construction of that. How important is that?
Amazing.
We release equity. You spend some of it, a little bit, you shop around with some of it, and then we help you with another development. Your portfolio grows, guys.
Amazing.
That is a serious equity. Okay.
That was a mouthful, but I hope that you guys got that. So that was basically our first introductory question to sort of give you an idea on the types of products that are backed by uMaStandi. And remember, guys, the Q&A session is towards the end of the live. Okay, so I've noticed that one or two people have asked a few questions in the comment section. We will get to those towards the end, at the end of the live. Don't worry. Okay, JB.
Yes.
Going to our next question. What sort of homework or preparation can one do before they walk into our offices, or before they call us, or before they fill in a feasibility form? What sort of preparation can one do?
I think very much so important. I would have failed if you didn't take, maybe if you're not taking notes today. But I would have made it if you are really writing some stuff down, because it's very critical. You need the knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, the knowledge, I think, is very much so important. Sometimes you might not have the funds,
Yes.
but you have the knowledge. Right, you have the know-how, how to do it, how to get it right. Or if I get here, then I'll be able to get here. For me, that is a very key to getting this thing right. Because otherwise, if you don't have the full knowledge, you're gonna give up along the way. Because this is a process. Remember, we're not building shacks here. We're building real stuff. It's a brick on top of a brick.
Of course.
So it takes a process. So I think first and foremost, you need to understand the area that you're looking to finance, right?
Okay.
Your township, which is the township in this case, right? Understand exactly that whether uMaStandi will be able to support you in that particular township. Okay. That's a very important. So if you now know, okay, uMaStandi can finance in Soweto, for example, then you know, okay, then what is it that is required? Okay, do I have a land, or do I have a property already? Is it paid up? Is it a bonded property? If it's a bonded property, okay, what's my plan allows? Have I done plans? Because if you already have a bond, you can't sit and wait for 20 years, 30 years, not doing anything, guys. That 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom won't change, guys. You need to do some changes in there. It's very important. So now, let's start with that one, having a bond house, right? Now, we've got a bond house. It's about 650, guys. You just then need to bring in your architects there to help you draw what could then be added on your property, and that will be approved by the city. That's the starting point for somebody who already owning a bonded property, right? So now, it depends what your zoning allows. Let's say you are building within the existing rights and you are in Soweto. You're actually allowed to build up to about 6 units. So you'll have your 2-bedroom, and you can add up to 6 units of bachelors, and you can still get it approved. So in essence, you've actually improved your property, right? You've added units and you're collecting income, depending which are you staying in the main house or not. But essentially, the feasibility quite works where you're actually not staying in the property, where you're renting that main house, probably with the ranging of 4.5 to about 5.5, and then your back units achieving about 3.2, 3.3 rentals, and then that feasibility actually seems to work. But getting back to you is the plan, the zoning, the preparation, the costing, because you can't just draw the plan and then think things are now going to happen. You need to cost the plan, material, labor. Send it to a few contractors to give you quotes.
Compare the quotes.
Compare the pricing, exactly. Yes, that is very important, guys, because you can get somebody to do it cheaper for you. But also, you need to be aware. Because you can't under provision. Because if you under provision, you won't be able to finish the project, which is the most important, critical part. Sure. So you just have to balance the equation, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. That's all.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then also, the last important part, the equity. You need to sort out, the equity also comes a question, but we'll touch on it because it's coming. Yeah.
We'll touch on it.
Okay.
Amazing. Cool. Thanks for that, JB. Guys, I think today's session has a different energy, and those that are familiar with this Township Talks might know what I'm talking about, okay? JB is coming with a different upbeat energy.
Oh,
and I love it. It's great for a Friday, okay? It's Friday, and so usually our setup here at the office is Monday to Thursday we're super formal, and then on Friday it's like a nice casual vibe, similar to school. When on Fridays you could like go casual. So our Fridays are casual Fridays, and I'm just loving JB's energy, and I hope you guys are enjoying it too. And I hope so far everything is clear. I hope you guys are following along, and remember that if anything is not clear, if anything is not making sense, you are more than welcome to pop it as a question in the comment section, and we'll address that for you. All right, okay. So JB, you've thrown around the word equity, and you've emphasized how important it is. You've emphasized that equity is money and it's a requirement. But now, can somebody qualify for an uMaStandi loan if they have zero equity?
Well, to be honest with you, I haven't seen feasibilities that work with someone coming with zero equity. So that being said, you need to have some form of skin in the game to put into the specific project in order for it to work.
Yes.
And I think people need to understand that there's many ways to source equity. You can source equity while you have zero cash in your bank account by having what you call obviously the knowledge of how you can raise that particular equity. I'll give you a various example of how you can raise equity. Let's say me and Buhle, we don't have equity now. Buhle has got a vacant stand that she owns and it's fully paid up. I mean, that's an equity contribution. And then now uMaStandi, now we're planning to build 8 rooms or 10 units. And then she knows somebody who's got 250, who was also looking to buy a vacant land. So now you see when we partner, she's got already the land that costs 250. And her friend now is coming, is also shopping for a vacant land. So now they put together. Now they've got equity, right?
Okay.
Now we can easily do what? 10 units. Done. At around about 1.5 construction budget.
That's important information.
So there's many ways someone can raise equity. Some people they use their excess bond to the bond they've been paying for many years, but still those properties, they're not working for them. They're not appreciation in value as they should. Right? Some they do what you call increased bond facility against their property they own. If maybe you've got a couple of properties that you own, but maybe they are just not multi-lets, but you can always increase the facility. Because the key thing that we look for is that we don't want to put too much financial constraint in your personal capacity, or then now you can't now manage your monthly expenses because now you've taken debts to say it's equity. You go now and take a personal loan, you take credit cards. That doesn't work like that as an equity, unless if you can really manage. But in this case, we don't advise you to do that.
Okay.
We advise you to at least save money, use your shares, and use these type of scenarios that I've just given you, or maybe ask somebody in your family that can maybe give you an easy 250 when they maybe do get bonus or something. Yeah. So those are other ways you can. So don't wait, guys. Simply, I'm saying, don't wait. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, JB. Our lovely audience so far is following along. I'm assuming we don't have that many questions, guys. So I'm going to guess and assume that everything is clear so far. You're understanding 100%. Okay. But if there's anything that pops through your mind, if there's something that you'd like to know about uMaStandi, if you'd like to know which areas we operate in, if you'd like to know title deeds, do I need a title deed, questions like that, those are commonly asked questions. Feel free to pop that through in the comment section. But moving along, JB, I do have another question for you.
Okay.
You are a portfolio manager here at uMaStandi, which means that various deals come to your attention. You visit a lot of sites in different locations, and according to your experience, and this is not to say that this is a definite answer, but according to your experience, is there a certain area, a certain South African township that you would say is most lucrative in terms of like return on investment? Is there an area that stands out compared to the rest?
I think for me, I think all are the same. I'll put it like that. It just depends on getting the rights and know where the rights are actually easily to be done. But to maybe get to the bottom line, I think Soweto, for example, is exciting. Because the barrier to this entry property investment is obviously the zoning, the municipality and all that. So I think the city of Johannesburg has done an amazing job in allowing us to just flexibility. We're loving it because we're seeing people getting plans approval quickly in the city of Johannesburg, and then they're also able to build within their existing rights up to 6 units. That is also quite interesting for somebody who's getting that 1 or 2 bedroom house to add those 6 units, those 8 units, those 10 units. So that is an exciting market to have.
Okay. Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, Soweto is quite popular, and there's a lot of vibrant energy that side. There's a lot of activity, a lot of restaurants.
And there's a lot of deals. I mean, people come now with like already approved plan. And
student accommodation as well, Soweto. Yes. So a lot is happening that side. Hope you guys are keeping an ear out for Soweto. Okay, so let me ask you one last question before we take the comments.
Yes.
And I think this one is quite important, and it deals with feasibility. So basically, any key feasibility requirements or criteria that one needs to sort of fit or adhere to before they can get that tick from uMaStandi to say that you are approved. Thumbs up.
The feasibility is very much a simple thing because our property entrepreneurs, they don't have to do it. We do it ourselves along with working with what they've already actually prepared.
Okay.
So my feasibility for me is it's very simple. If an entrepreneur, developer listen, I mean, they always talk about listening is a skill. That's my number one feasibility.
Yeah.
If somebody listen and if somebody cooperate, and then if also, if you really like, you need to be consistent, guys. You need to be consistent in this thing. And you need to be serious. For me, that triggers the feasibility because what we're going to unpack in the feasibility, and then you're going to have to do that. Right. So the feasibility simply means you don't have to do it on your own. You're just going to tell us, okay, this is my plan and this is how many units I'm going to do. And then we punch in the numbers conservatively. This is my construction budget. And then we look at then it will all spit out what you actually want. Grace period, how much your contractor is going to take to do the development that's going to be there. And then obviously we do give you grace period while you're building. Obviously you're not paying there. We expect your contractor to finish the construction within 8 months, for example, and then the 2 months you collect your deposit, getting ready for month 11 to start servicing. The feasibility also speaks to your monthly obligation, which is also very important for us. You need to be able to be in a position to pay uMaStandi's installment and also pay the city's utilities, so that you make sure that you can also profit on a month-to-month and make sure that also your assets appreciate. So the feasibility really, it's something that you really don't really have to worry about. You just need to focus on those things that I've said to you, that even if you come with 250 and then maybe there's a shortfall of around 20,000, we need to work around to teach you how you then wing it and get it across the line so that the deal moves. If maybe, for example, you are owing on rates, for example, we need to see if the feasibility can even allocate those rates that you are owing to the city, and can it still still work, or are you able to even settle those utilities? So keeping up to date utilities, guys, also become very key if you're going to come into uMaStandi for financing, because that we can't transfer the property to your new entity if it's got those rates. It needs to be considered. For example, you might find out that in fact we require only 250 equity, but because now you also have an outstanding debt of utilities of another additional 250, that becomes too much now, because that now is going to kill the deal. So that's why I'm saying it's a work in progress, ladies and gentlemen. We work together with you to make this deal work. But not all deals are feasible. That's also you need to understand. But our job is to make sure that we help you execute a deal that's viable and feasible.
So essentially, I think what JB is saying, guys, is as much as we help you with the feasibility, as you mentioned earlier, you still are required to do your homework. You still are required to understand what it is that you're doing. So, for example, you need to have an idea of the rental per month that you would charge within that specific area. Obviously, we need to know if you have equity and the likes, building plans. So those are like the first steps, beginner questions that we would ask. We need to know that information before we come in with our own feasibility to say, okay, based on what you've provided, this is what we can do. But thank you for that, JB. That was lovely. I think now we can take a few questions from our viewers, starting with, let's see, who is the lucky first viewer? We have Garabo Kabelo Tamao. Okay, I think I'll take this question. Garabo is asking if we fund in Free State, Sasolburg, to be specific. So Garabo, uMaStandi has just recently diversified to Bloemfontein, Free State, okay? We are still working or finalizing rather the areas of finance. Previously, we have not operated in Bloemfontein, so it would be a new market for us, but we do have specific areas of finance that we'll be looking at. Just keep an eye out on our website. We're looking to list those in the next few weeks. All right, thank you for that, Garabo. Kensani Valoy, if you could please rephrase your question, Kensani. You mentioned that you missed the tip about going to the city. Please recap slightly. If you could just maybe provide more information about what it is that you're referring to so that we can better address your question, Kensani Valoy. Then who else do we have? Papai, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Papai Musiane. Do you only cater for locations? Guys, this is Township Talks. uMaStandi is a township financing product, but we do have an inner city and city suburban product, which is tough. So tough is the bigger, essentially tough is the bigger sister of uMaStandi. So tough finances projects that are located in the city, inner city, suburbs, you name it. uMaStandi is solely focused on townships. So if you'd like to know more about tough and the products offered by tough, you can simply head onto our website. By the way, we are one company, we work together. So tough is spelled TUHF. Head on to tough, read more about our areas of finance, how we work, but essentially tough is inner city, in-city suburban, uMaStandi township based product. All right, let's go. Next question, you can take this one, JP. Garabo Kabelo Tamao is asking, how do you decide on the locations you fund? Is that a complicated question?
No, it's actually not. So the areas that you see that have been identified, obviously these are areas that we have proved. We have done our market study, and we know that there's demand for rental accommodation. So basically, you can't go to the farm and build a a big 20 blocks of flat of bachelor units there, because you're not sure who's going to go and rent in that place, as just an example. So you need to be where the money is. It's a simple explanation.
No, for
You
sure.
need to be where the money is. You need to be where the people are. So
100%.
where the infrastructure is, where there's amenities, where there's shopping malls, where people are going to work, that kind of thinking. Of course, you need to be around the radius of around, away 35 k's away, because people are prepared to stay in Soweto, which is still about 35 k's.
Yes,
And they come
so
here and work in Johannesburg
essential.
and still be able to pay about 3.5-4,000 in project land.
For sure. Okay. Well, thank you for that, JP. And just to give you guys of a few areas that we operate in. So, for example, in Gauteng, obviously, Soweto, we've got Lenasia, Eldorado Park, we've done deals there, Mohlakeng, Kagiso. We're also in Pretoria, guys, Sosha, Olivenhout.
Yes.
Olivenhout, Isterus, Mamelodi, Attridgeville, Lotus Gardens. But not only are we in Gauteng.
Springs, Devlin. Where's Devlin?
Springs.
Is there somebody from Devlin?
Where's Devlin? Where is that?
No, Devlin is just in Soweto.
So
it's
it's
covered. We've got deals there already. So if Devlin, I was just hoping I will see some Devlin there.
We're also in Ekurhuleni. We're in northeast of Joburg, which is your Ivory Park, Ebony Parks. But also we're not limited to Gauteng. We're in Cape Town as well. Khayelitsha. We're actually exhibiting in Khayelitsha, guys. Tomorrow there's an event in the Milk Restaurant organized by Township Economies Alliance. We have secured a stand there. So if you're based in Cape Town, Khayelitsha, check us out. We'll be exhibiting from 9 o'clock in the morning at the Milk Restaurant. It's located in Khayelitsha. You can chat to one of our colleagues based in Cape Town, which her name is Nomfundo. Ask her questions, get a better understanding of how we work. Sometimes having an in-person conversation,
Yes.
definitely it feels way better than talking over the phone or on email. So that's tomorrow. If you're in Cape Town, tomorrow, 9 a.m., the Milk Restaurant, Cape Town, Khayelitsha. Check out our stand, uMaStandi. You'll see our big branding. We are there. Alrighty, so that's Cape Town. Khayelitsha, obviously, we're in Delft, Mandalay, Montclair, Langa, Gugule, 2, Blue Downs. We are also in KZN, guys. KZN, and our list is long. So, Semlazi, Waterloo,
KwaMashu,
Nazareth,
good deals there.
KwaMashu, Claremont. Come on, guys. And we're also in Eastern Cape. Baby, Motherwell, New Brighton, KwaDesi, KwaZakhele, Zwide. We're also in East London. There's more. The list is long. I'm just summarizing. In East London, Mdantsane, Haven Hills, Gompo Town, Buffalo Flats. The list goes on and on. If you want to know more and read more about our areas of finance, you can either pop us an email, which is info@umastandi.co.za, or check out our website. Like, take your time, browse through umastandi.co.za, see what we're about. Check out our videos on YouTube, some of the projects that we financed and done, and you can actually see the building come to life. Hear more from the entrepreneurs themselves and their journey with uMaStandi. Okay, alrighty. Let's take the next question, which is from Mnyamazeli Bonisile. And Mnyamazeli says, I am based in Mpumalanga, nail sprays. I would like to collaborate with uMaStandi in referring clients. Send them our way. Unfortunately, though.
Yeah, you can do that.
Unfortunately, we're not in Mpumalanga.
Yeah, but I heard oversight that Mpumalanga might be the new area of finance. So just prepare what I've said.
Yeah.
Think about the zoning rights, think about the plans, think about the costing, think about the equity, so that when we get to that area, you've already packaged your deal and it's easy for us to execute.
Yeah, so Nyamezeli Bonisile, just to clarify, we are currently not operating in Mpumalanga, and this is also due to us not having an office in Mpumalanga. So we like to be in close proximity to the areas we finance, okay? So that if there's perhaps any issue with the project, we can easily check it out. Currently, as it stands, uMaStandi does not have an office in Mpumalanga, therefore we currently do not finance in Mpumalanga, but we are looking to diversify, we are looking to grow as a company. So keep a lookout on either our social media and our website. Like I said, we recently just expanded to Bloom. So things are happening. Things are happening, guys. Keep an eye out on our social media and our website. Alrighty. Ulunga Dlamini is asking, do you find Mzimkhulu in KZN?
Well, I'm not at the moment,
Not
but
at the
because we do have already an office in KZN, there's a portfolio manager by the name of Zinhle Kumalo. She will be best to look into that area and advise accordingly what we can do, what we can't do. Because sometimes you will mention an area that I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
She will be much more fluent
Okay.
with the locations that side.
Thanks, JB. And also, maybe if I can just clarify, because we're not sure which area this is or where it's located. So, strictly townships, guys. If it's a village or a farmland, unfortunately, we wouldn't finance a project there, even though it's feasible. Because remember, you need to be in close proximity to places of work, hospitals, just your economic hub, economic activities, so your malls, public transport, schools, and things like that. So farmlands, villages, at the moment, we do not finance if the area is located in that.
And just to make a comment, people shouldn't look for something that extraordinary. Just look for a simple stand, simple small stand. Don't shop for a big stand. You're not going to find a big stand in the township. Just look for a nice 300 squares, 370, 400 that you know you can demolish and build this thing from scratch. Simple. Don't make your life difficult and go and look for a bigger stand. It's not going to help you. You can find a big stand, but then in fact you can only be able to build like 8 units or 10 units based on the affordability and the equity that you are able to put in. So just shop around nicely, guys. Don't look for something that will take long to find. Look for something that's there, that exists already.
Amazing. Thank you for that add-on, JB. Lindo is asking, what do I need to apply for a loan? We did cover this, but if you can maybe just summarize it. What do I need to apply for a loan with them?
So basically it depends whether you've identified the project you would like to pursue, whether you already own the project or you planning to buy still. Those are some of the critical questions that you need to ask yourself. But yeah, that's a starting point. And then the plans follows. Have you drawn the plans? Have you consulted with the city? Can it be approved, or has it been submitted? Those are some of the critical points. And then you shop around with the construction cost of that, and then obviously the equity, how you're going to be sourcing the equity you need to. Then you can easily apply. You just call us or you come to our office. Hence I said we are open Monday to Friday, guys. I often meet clients in person. I shake hands and I start to guide them accordingly, specifically to what they are doing, and I give them steps. That's why when you've been to my office, the next time you meet me again, the deal is on, because you've already gotten all the information you need and you know exactly what you need to do in order for you to do your first project.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, JB. Kurua Guy Sbongile, I can address this one. Kurua Guy is asking if we finance in Kempton Park. So Kurua Guy might have joined a bit later. So we have two products, right? uMaStandi. uMaStandi finances deals and transactions which are in South African townships. TUHF, TUHF, finances deals and transactions which are either in the city, inner city, so that's your main in cities like your Joburg CBDs, your Braamfonteins and things like that, your areas surrounding the cities, and your suburbs like your Randburgs, your Lindens, Midrands, and the likes. So Kempton Park, yes, we would finance in Kempton Park. If it falls under the suburban area or the city area, yes, we do. It would just be under TUHF and not uMaStandi. But if you are more than welcome to pop an email through to info@umastandi.co.za, because essentially we are one company under one company, just different product offerings. Okay.
Yeah, just to also maybe add a point, yes, absolutely, Buhle. Yes, we can really do the deal in Kempton Park, and we can even assess you. Help you to assess that project ourselves. We are one company, one shop, one office.
Yes,
so we
absolutely.
can do that. So yeah,
one-stop shop.
Yeah. So same feasibility. So don't stress about that. We are one package deal. So that's our also mother near node. Yeah. They call it near node.
So essentially, TUHF and uMaStandi operate under one business mindset. Okay, guys. So essentially, TUHF covering your in cities, inner cities and suburbs, uMaStandi covering your townships. It's essentially the same feasibility process, the same or similar method. Okay, so any questions relating to the in-city suburban areas, you're more than welcome to pop it through to the uMaStandi team. The uMaStandi team can then refer it to the TAF team. Alrighty. Let's take a question from Karabo. Okay, so Karabo is the person that had asked about Free State Sasolburg. And they're saying, can I kindly ask if you can come do a feasibility study in Sasolburg? It's a huge industrial area. Are you familiar with Sasolburg, JB?
Yeah, we do finance in Sasolburg. Maybe you need to tell us more what you need to do. Have we done a deal? Yes, we do have deals in Sasolburg. We do have deals in Vereeniging. I've recently approved a deal in Everton. So yeah, there's some stuff going on in there.
So I think there might have been a miscommunication then, Garabo, because I had said that we do not finance in Sasolburg as uMaStandi.
Vanderbilt, right? Vanderbilt Sasolburg.
He says Free State Sasolburg, so I'm not familiar with it.
So if she's talking about the Vanderbilt, yes.
So maybe clarify where sort of like it's located, then we can definitely assist. But I mean, like JB has already said, we just don't want there to be a misunderstanding in terms of like the feasibility requirement and where we can actually finance. Because if it's a largely industrial area, I mean, what's around there? You know, is it a secluded area? Is there any activity? What's going on? But I mean, Karabo sounds quite keen, and he sounds quite positive about Sasolburg. Maybe it could be something then that we need to investigate, or it could be something that TAF has done. Yes, maybe TAF might have funded a project 100%. In Sasolburg. Karabo, I'm happy to investigate for you, and you can just feel free to drop your email address. I'll take a screenshot of it and pop you an email after the session. Nyamezeli Bonisile, can you share more information? And you have shared your email address. Certainly, we'll take a note of your email address. And what we'll essentially do is we'll send you what the first step of a feasibility form, like the basic feasibility form, not the detailed feasibility form, basic feasibility form, and what that looks like. Essentially, the information that's required from you as the applicant. We'll also share with you our client pack, which briefly summarizes what JB told us earlier, the type of products that we finance, feasibility requirements, equity, things like that, and obviously the South African locations that we operate in.
And just to also maybe make one point, Buhle, because sometimes the process might seem too long, but then people need to understand that obviously we don't finance in personal capacity. We finance in entities.
Thank you for
right?
that. Actually.
So when you're looking to pursue uMaStandi, maybe as a starting point, you need to distinguish whether do you now already have opened up a company that you're going to use for your specific transaction. So that's cut out this whole process of dragging that sometimes happens and take place. You often find people say, no, I know how to open a company myself. But then now when you're asking for stuff like share certificate, like SARS, and then now they start to run around and take time, a week, 1 week, 2 weeks. So just be prepared, guys. If you come in to do any transaction, make sure that your company is already up been open, you've got your documents ready, your share certificate, your letter from our accountant, confirming that company is not trading becomes key. Your SARS becomes key, your proof of address and all that. You will open the bank account in a later stage when you've gotten a confirmed approval from uMaStandi. So that cuts the entire delays that you might have, because the rest of the information is stuff that you've already have, which is your personal information, which you can easily access to, as opposed to now having to wait and wait.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that add-on, JB. Okay, so Karabo has come back to us to say that Sasolburg is about 10 to 20 kilometers from Vanderbilt Park and Vereeniging. So
sure. No, we can do a deal there. We just need to understand if the zoning is in line with what you can do or whatever the case may be. But yeah, we do finance there, 100%.
Okay, so Garabo, it sounds like you might have a possible deal or project in mind. And if that's the case, please do send it through to us at info at uMaStandi.co.za. That's info at uMaStandi.co.za. If you wanted to chat, perhaps, to JB, you are more than welcome to call our reception through and request for JB. He is a portfolio manager, so he will be in a better position to advise and find out more about your deal. The line to call is 010-595-9000. That's 010-595-9000, and you can simply ask for an uMaStandi portfolio manager. So that would be either JB or Ngobi, depending on who's available. All right, so I think we will end. Before I take one last questions, we'll be ending the live in a few minutes. So if you guys have one or two questions that you still have in mind, feel free to share that. But if we don't get to address your question by the end of the live, you are more than welcome to pop that question via email or DM on this platform, Facebook. DM us on LinkedIn.
Or call us. And they must call us. Yeah, we'll come to our office. Yeah,
whatever works best for you, you do that.
Exactly.
Okay. Do we have one last question? Okay, so Karabo. Karabo is engaging so well with us. I love that. This is the point of the session, to have such conversations. Okay, so Karabo says, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. What do I need to specify on the email? What sort of information would you want? It's the Sasolburg possible deal. So I would say maybe if it does have a possible deal, tell us more
it's
about
fine.
it.
We'll appraise it separately, that one. We'll tell exactly what we need and what she needs to be aware of. So it's fine. Maybe we can take that one offline, because it seems like there's a hot deal there that we need to assess.
So I think Karabo, then the best
just
option,
share the email,
the best option for you Karabo, if you do have a feasible project or a potential project rather, send a DM to our page to say, hi, it's me from the live. This is my email address, and then we will send you an email with our client pack feasibility form, and just maybe sort of have the conversation from there.
So just to make one comment also there. So the one page of feasibility form, it speaks to the location, exactly where it is.
Yes.
And it also speaks to your current zoning of your property to check if then it actually meets our requirement or criteria, right? It's zoning, very important, the land use rights. And then it also speaks to whether do you own that land or not. It also speaks to whether is that land bonded or not, right? And if it's bonded, how much is still there? And then it also speaks to now, what's your plan? Tell us now, what is your plan? What do you want to build? Is it 10 units? And then how much square meter is those units and all that? How much rental you think you're going to achieve? And then speak to also the amount of equity that you are able to also raise yourself into the transaction. And it speaks to the construction budget. So it just prepares you from what we need you to be at in order for you to be bankable.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thanks for laying that out, JB. I think let's take one last question. Papai Musiane, I think Papai had asked a question earlier. Basically, it's sort of like a suggestion, and they're saying mining towns host people from all provinces, and rentals are needed. That is quite true. Mining towns do host a lot of people. Rentals are needed. It's just historically how our financing model has been, is that we have targeted certain area based on what we have found feasible and lucrative. It's not to say that we cannot diversify. I mean, TAF, for example, has just expanded to suburban areas where we had previously only focused on your in-city and inner-city areas. And then we diversified to suburban areas. And then out of that, uMaStandi was born, which was a township-focused product. So it's not essentially to say that we cannot or would not look into diversifying to other areas if it's something that is feasible.
If just to make a point there, I think the important thing to understand is that uMaStandi, operate across the country. So don't worry about the location, guys. Just look for a deal that you can do and that can be done without wasting time. Because you can do a deal in Durban while you're in Johannesburg. I've seen a client that did a project in KwaMashu, fully completed now. He's busy also with a deal here. I'm appraising it in Johannesburg. So you can do a deal in anywhere.
Well, disclaimer. No, not anywhere.
Anywhere in our areas of finance. Sorry,
in our areas of finance. Not anywhere.
I missed that part.
Because now we're telling Papai that we are not in the mining town, and you're telling him anyway.
No, you can look around
Disclaimer.
Across the country.
We're putting an
where we are
asterisk
in our area of finance.
in our areas of finance, guys. It's quite important to us that we operate within our areas of finance. Obviously, we're always happy to look at a deal if it's possible, but our areas of finance are strictly important also because they are also in close proximity to where our offices are located. Should a portfolio manager need to attend to an issue in that particular building, we need to be able to do so. All right, that's one of the important main things that we consider when we look at an area of finance. Obviously, economic viability and things like that, but also close proximity to our portfolio managers. All right, I think that was a lovely session, JB. That was your first Township Talks session.
Yeah. There's the first time for everything. I've told the audience that they need to sign OTPs now. Those who hasn't signed in any OTP, please go there and make the paper black and white, please. I'll be waiting for those OTP in the office. Me and Ngobi Malinga will be waiting for you guys.
Ready to sign
So we'll
deals.
be ready to write these deals. So bring these deals, guys. We've got the funds to back you.
We've got the funds to back you, but also I think we have the heart really of an entrepreneur in spirit. We are uMaStandi is a township focused brand. I think already that says a lot, guys. Previously, our previously disadvantaged individuals, let me put it that way, did not have an opportunity to purchase and be property entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
And that's what we're doing here. We're trying to make a change in our community. We're trying to make an impact in our community by focusing on these areas and making sure that livelihoods are changed, making sure that entrepreneurs are built, making sure that entrepreneurs are supported. So please reach out to us at any time between office hours, of course. 010-595-9000. Note that down. That's 010-595-9000. If you don't want to pick up a phone, if you'd rather send an email, more than welcome. info@umastandi.co.za. Papi Musiane, if you want any information about TAF, either pop us a message so that we have that on track and we can send you information on Messenger, or you can simply right now on your cell phone just type in TAF on your Google search and you'll be able to read more about TAF, the areas of finance. Okay, but thank you so much. I see somebody's asking for an email address. I'm sure they didn't get it earlier. So email address for uMaStandi is info@umastandi.co.za. That's info@umastandi.co.za. Email address for TAF is simply info@taf.co.za. That's info@taf, which is TUHF.co.za. The landline is the same for both TAF and uMaStandi, which is 010-595-9000. That's 010-595-9000. And I hope you guys were able to note that down or write it down. But without further ado, thank you so much to everybody that was able to put aside time this morning and join us. As always, Township Talks is an educational and informative show that is more so like a discussion, as I'm sure you guys have noticed, where we open up the conversation around township property investment, getting started, the do's and don'ts, or the ins and outs, and our feasibility criteria, so on and so forth. This session will take place once every month, so every last Friday of the month. So that means the next session will be towards the end of June. You will be notified. We'll normally put out a notification at least 2 weeks or 1 week before the date so that you guys can plan your day accordingly. But again, any last words, JB?
Yeah, our office is open, so we're ready for you guys. Don't just wait for the things for our episodes.
Yeah,
bring in these deals.
Amazing. Thank
Just
you
talk
so
to
much.
it. Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining in, and reach out to us. I've already shared our email address, info@umastandi.co.za, info@taf.co.za, 010-595-9000. This live recording will be available for the next couple of days on Facebook, but we'll also ensure to save it on our YouTube page, which is uMaStandi Township Property Financing. Alrighty, my beautiful people. We're going to love and leave you, and we'll see you again towards the end of June. I hope you have a lovely weekend and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
See you soon.
Goodbye.